Hi, welcome to Mindful Pilates mat class series. Today we have a 30-minute basic flow. I want to go through the basic exercises and hopefully you'll feel much stretched and stronger at the end. So let's get us started. Let's begin on hands and knees, having the wrists directly below the shoulders and the knees directly below the hips. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, start to round your back. Inhale, coming back into the center. Gliding the shoulders down. Lift your spine up a little bit more into some extension. Come back into your neutral and exhale. Round your back again. As you exhale, try to connect and engage the abdominals. Inhale, come back into neutral. And go into a bit more extension. One more time. Exhale to round. Everything is rounding. We're lifting the tailbone. We're lowering the tailbone towards the floor. We're lifting the spine towards the ceiling. And we come back to the center. Now we stay in the center this time. And from here, we're going to do a side bend. We're rotating the tailbone to the left and the head to the left, looking over the shoulder. Come back, move over to the other side. Inhale to stay in the position and exhale to come back. Over to the other side. We move on the exhale, we inhale to stay and we come back in the center. And again. Inhale to hold. Exhale to come back. And last one. Drawing the tailbone towards the shoulder on the same side, looking over the shoulder towards the tailbone. Last one. Exhale to move. Inhale to hold and exhale to come back. Now keep the hands as your base of support just below the shoulders. You're going to have one hand now under your forehead. Breathe in and then exhale and rotate. Inhale to rotate all the way down. Exhale again, moving from the center of the spine, from the ribcage, and down. And exhale, and lower. Come back to the center, and let's practice this on the other side. Hand under the forehead, breathe in, shoulders down, exhale, rotate outwards. Inhale, come down. Exhale, again, out to the side. Inhale, down. Last one, exhale to reach. Inhale to come down. And then come back in the center. Lower the hand down. And now we're going to transition to a seated position. Now, depending on how your knees feel, what we do is we try to find a very fluid way to work out. We want to maintain a certain flow. So doing a transition such as that does help with that. We're going to lower the spine down into the mat and we're going to lengthen the back. Right, so first thing to do when we get into this position is to find where our lower back and where our mid back are in space. Let's keep the shoulders relaxed. You might just want to allow maybe the palms of the hands to look upwards. That will just give you a little bit more opening at the front of your chest. You're going to take a breath in to begin. And on the exhale, just go into a little imprinted position. As you imprint, what you want to check is that you're shortening the distance between the rib cage and the hips. It's a very gentle movement. The aim is not to squash the spine on the mat. It's to learn to use the obliques and to learn that connection between the oblique muscles and the hips. Now try to maintain your neutral position now. You will know if you're in neutral if you have a little space under your lower back. Now let's focus on the breathing here. I would like you to try to breathe in, allowing a good lift in your stomach without pushing the spine up, just to relax the muscles of your abdomen. And then as you exhale, I want you to tighten those muscles a little bit. Again, inhale. Allow that diaphragm to move, and then exhale, using a little bit more power from your muscles. One more time, breathe in. And as you exhale, connect from your pelvic floor to your transversus abdominis, and everything is starting to work a little more to allow the diaphragm to move. We're going to stay here and we're going to check that the rib cage is in a good placement. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling and take an inhale. On the exhale, do tighten the muscles as we just done and bring the arms back overhead. Inhale and bring the arms back up. Now do it again, and as you move the arms back, check what you're doing with your mid back. You want to keep the ribcage still so that you actually are stretching the back muscles and you are connecting to your obliques the whole time. And you're not using your back to create that arm lift. One more time. Exhale, arms go back. Inhale, bring the arms back up again, and then lower the hands down on the floor. Take a breath in, maintaining the spine exactly as it is. I would like you to exhale and look towards the edge of your knees, and then maintain the abdominals as connected as they were on the exhale, and just curl up, make it into a very small lift of the head and the shoulders, and the arms that become parallel to the floor. Lower down, and again, nod your head. And then don't move your neck anymore, because then you're moving from your mid back instead. The abdominals are staying really connected. We're lowering down. We're going to do that one more time. Look towards your knees and then exhale, lift. And then inhale and come back. Now, when you do your abdominal exercises in Pilates, just remember that that head nod that you did at the beginning is sufficient neck movement for every abdominal curl that you do. So you never want to move your neck any more than that original little lift and head nod. Okay, so always maintaining a fist distance between the chin and the chest. Come down again, and we're going to approach our first Pilates exercise, our hundreds. We're going to lift one leg up in a tabletop position, and then here we're going to exhale and create an imprint. Imprinting the spine down, we're then going to lift the other leg up. We're going to do our basic version of the hundreds. You can keep your head down if you are avoiding flexion of the spine. Keep your ankles in line with the knees and try to keep the knees over the hips and not closer to your chest. If they come closer to your chest, you'll just be working slightly harder on the abdominals, which might actually be suitable for you today. Draw the chin to the chest, lift your head and your shoulders. Stretch and inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And in and out and in. Now have a look at your stomach. Try to maintain the stomach as flat as possible. Here your abdominals are working in tension the whole time. That's halfway. And exhale. And in. And out. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 20 more. Reach up a little more. In and out. And hold. Bring your knees a little closer to your chest. And then lower your chest down. Just bring your knees to your chest for a second. Relax your feet and then lower your feet down on the floor. We're going to start now with our roll up. The roll up is a seemingly easy exercise, which poses though a lot of different difficulties, especially when we cannot really articulate the lower back into flexion. It's definitely not a recommended exercise if you have a loss of bone density in the body. I would like you to start with your knees bent. Bring the arms up. The shoulders are staying down. We're now going to bring the arms back, and as we said before, the ribcage is staying still. We take a breath in. On the exhale, we start to come up. At this point, we're still in neutral. Following that, we start to imprint. At this point, you should be feeling that your lower back is in the mat. If you cannot lift higher than that, take a leg. Use the leg, so push the leg, hinge it away from you, and it will definitely help you to come up. Come up, reach forward. Take an inhale to reach. Whilst you're inhaling, start to come back down and create that articulation in your lower back again. If you have used your hands to come up, then change your leg. At this point, we're in neutral. Then we start to imprint. You can use the other leg to help you lift. Lower your leg and stretch forward. Inhale, start to come down. Exhale, finish your roll down. If you don't need to use your legs as a help, then just come all the way up. Now make sure the abdominal pressure is going downwards. Reach and come back down. Keep your shoulders down. We're just going to do one more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll. Good. And then we're going to lower back. Lower the arms down and stretch your right leg down on the floor. We're going to bring the left leg in a tabletop position. The lower back at this point should be in a neutral posture. For many of us, it is a lot easier to maintain the knee slightly bent because by stretching the leg, we might feel that we need to imprint to create that full leg extension. If that's the case, by all means, keep the leg semi-bent. You can also semi-bend a little bit the bottom leg, the ones on the floor. The bottom line is that with the leg circles, we want to maintain a neutral spine. This exercise is about creating stability in the pelvic region. We're going to work 5 circles, one direction, 5 in the other. We begin on the inhale as the leg goes towards the other one, and then exhale and bring it up. Inhale, go in. Exhale, out. Inhale. Exhale. Feel your obliques working on both sides. Last one in this direction. Change direction. Leg goes out. Inhale. Exhale. And again. 2. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. In and out. Bend your knee and bring your knee in. As you can see, the circles are quite fast. It's a lot of work for the hip flexors, so it is important that we don't linger in the exercise. Also, by making it a little faster, we're really challenging that abdominal stability. You can definitely use your fingers here for your own proprioceptive feedback, so that you can feel where your pelvis is and definitely help stabilize a bit more. Change direction of that circle. Inhale and exhale, and that's 1. 2. Follow the breathing pattern, please. 3. 4. 5. And again, bring your knee in towards your chest. Lower your foot down and bend the other knee. I'm going to show you 2 versions of a very similar exercise that differ though in the way that we mobilize the back. We're going to do some hip rolls first. I'm going to get rid of this arm so that you can see my back. We're going to take a breath in. From that neutral position on the exhale, we start to imprint the lower back into the mat. That's your articulation. We're going to lift. Okay, so we are taking the back into flexion initially. The legs during a hip roll stay very much connected to one another. So we do really work on the inner thigh connection every time we do our hip rolls and our bridges. The feet are pressing into the floor, the rib cage is staying down, lower down. Now we stayed up for a little longer, but generally we would like to do this in 2 breaths. So breathe in, exhale, lift, articulating the spine. Inhale to come down. So your shoulder blades do not lift off the floor. Shoulder blades are staying down, the neck is staying long. Now this is a really nice way to mobilize the back and start to work on the posterior chain, which is anything that is happening at the back of the body. Now we're going to do it into a proper bridge position. So we maintain the bridge. This is our bridge. So when we lift, again, I'm moving my arm out of the way. We press the feet. We start to connect the feet to the back of the legs already. We lift into one shape and then we lower back down. Now, really feel that strong work in your abdominals here, because we are really challenging the connection in our obliques. The obliques have to stay very strong here because we don't want to lose the position of the rib cage. Up and down. 2 more. Up. Inhale down. Up. And inhale down. Okay, I'm going to lower my arm back here. We're just going to do one more version of this. We're going to lift, and I just want you to press the right foot into the floor. Lift your left foot off the ground and lower it back down. Try to not put any tension in your neck and in your shoulders. And connect the entire abdominal container that we have. Pelvic floor, diaphragm, abdominal fascia, our obliques, our thoracolumbar fascia in our back. Everything is working. So the more we focus on what's happening in the abdominal region, the stronger we become. But we have to really focus. Lift. That's our last one. Lift, and then lower, and then come back down. And just to relax the back, bring your knees into your chest. Take a breath in, lift your head and your shoulders, and roll yourself up. From here, again, I would like you to transition if you can. So we cross the legs, so that was the movement. We came up here, we cross the legs, we place the hands at the front, and we push. And from here, I would like you to either go straight down into a prone position or just transition again into a low push-up from a plank. Now we're working on the back extensors here. Very, very, very important work. I definitely recommend all my clients to do exercises in extension as much as they can. So we're going to start with the nose parallel to the floor, so the neck is parallel to the ceiling and the floor. The legs are parallel to each other. The back of the hands resting on the mat and the shoulders are naturally rolling forward. Can you try to connect to your abdominals here? So very, very light pelvic floor contraction, very light drawing navel to the spine. Inhale, bring your shoulders back, and then exhale and lift. When you lift, you need to be aware where your body is in space. You're staying parallel to the floor. The stomach is completely down and flat. The shoulders are drawing back and the hands are drawing down. We breathe in and we exhale and lower. Inhale, bring your shoulders back. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. So I've got one breath, so we exhale to lift. We inhale to lower. 2 more. Shoulders back and lift. Inhale and lower. One more time. Shoulders back and lift. And lower down. Very similar to this, we can position one hand on top of the other. Draw the shoulders down. Place the forehead on the hands. And then from here, get a little bit more abdominals here even, because we're lifting a heavier weight. So we're only lifting halfway up here, just hovering off the floor. We need to support our back, okay? How do we support our back? Using the abdominals, using the fascia. That is one single connection between the front and the back of the body. And again, exhale. And the more we learn to use that, the stronger we become. One more time, please. Lift. and stay here. From here, you're going to lift the left leg. Lower and lift for 8, 7, 6. Why do we do this? Because we're challenging the stability on the opposite side. So can you keep the opposite leg very still, the opposite hip down on the floor? 2, 1, change leg, exhale, 8, 7. Support that leg lift, learn to use the posterior chain of the body. So you're working really here, engaging all the muscles in the back of the leg that's moving. Last one, lift. And you can make this a little harder by lifting both. So strong abdominals here, connect to the abdominals, lift and use the glutes to lift. And lower. And 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release there. Place your hands close to your body, and here you have 2 ways to transition again. You can either transition up onto your knees. Again, we're really challenging the shoulders here, okay? What I want you to do when you transition here is to try to imagine that you're lifting your pelvis slightly quicker than your upper portion of the spine. Because if not, often what I see is this. Okay, which is not a very healthy, strong movement. So if you think of starting to lift the pelvis here, I find it's a great trick to get ourselves up in a much stronger, nicer, and safer way. For this class, we're going to keep it on the knees, but if you wanted to, you could definitely do this with the knees off the floor, okay? But for this one, we're just staying here. Just round your back. Keep your arms either forward in front of you, or you can lower your hands behind you. And just bring the hands back down, relaxing the shoulders into this position, which is a shoulder extension position. On the exhale, start to rotate, to articulate, the back up. Going to the center of your mat, and you can come up onto your knees. And I just want you to bring the arms in front of you and just place one hand on top of the other like that. So I'm just going to the side so you can see me. You're going to take a breath in, and on the exhale, rotate, keeping the eyes on your fingers. And inhale, come back in the center. And again, same side. Exhale and reach. And inhale, come back. Try to keep a sense of reach through the crown of your head every time you do the rotations. And maybe lift your elbows up a little bit more so you can feel some work in the shoulders. Exhale, last one. And come back in the center. Let's take it over to the other side. And back. And 4, lengthen through the spine. Imagine a spiral. Side, so rotation and extension. And again, exhale. And again, keep your eyes on your hands. 2. Last one, please. And then come back into the center. And then from here, we're just going to do a couple of side exercises. You can come onto your forearm, or you can lower yourselves down the whole way. That's up to you. I'm staying up onto the forearm, drawing the shoulder down, having the legs in front of me at a slight angle, and lifting up, okay, so that the ribcage underneath me is helping me to push. We're gonna lift the leg, dorsiflex, and we're gonna go forward for 2. 1, 2, single back. Inhale and exhale. And again, 3, and exhale back. And 4, so feel that challenge here in your glutes. Feel the challenge in your abdominals, because you're not allowing any movement in the upper body. You're just really here focusing on that strong connection, the whole body connection. One more time. forward, forward, and back. Lower your leg, lower yourselves down. Bring your legs in line, and then lift the top leg. Keep the waist lifted off the floor. Lift the bottom leg and lower them both. And again, inhale. And double exhale to lower. If you find you're losing balance, you can use your hand close to your chest or close to your rib cage, which can give you some feedback in terms of whether you are pushing your rib cage forward. Up, up and down. 2 more, please. Up, up and down. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Bend your knees and come up. Push yourselves up. Now split the legs. Place what was the bottom leg against the other leg. And just take it into a little mermaid stretch. Take it to the side and then up. Grab your leg. Use it to anchor yourselves and go over to the other side and watch your nose rotating forward. So stay in your frontal plane and come back to the center. We're going to repeat it on the other side. Leg kick to begin with. On the forearm, lifting the rib cage. Legs are nice and long. We're going to lift the top leg, double kick, and we go 1, 2, and back. Now, what to do with this hand? Either you can have it at the front to help you, to give you some support, or you can have it behind your head if you prefer. And again, inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. And again, 2 and back. Try not to push all your weight on that forearm because you really want to get your obliques to work. Last one, please. We go forward, forward, back, and then we even out the legs. We bring them back. We lie down. We make sure that the hips are staggered so that there is a little space under your waist. Okay, so you try to lengthen your top leg as much as you can. We go inhale, exhale, and lower. Up, up, and down. Remember, if you want your hand at the front, you might as well use it to have some feedback about what you're doing with your back. The aim is to maintain the back in neutral the entire time during any exercises you're doing in the side series. One more time. Lift, lift, and lower. Now, push yourselves up. Split the legs. We're going first this way. We're lengthening what was the top side. Placing a hand on the thigh, we're going to reach over to the other side. And then exhale and come back to the center. Okay, we're placing the hands down on the floor and we transition again, either in a plank or on hands and knees. Okay, if you are on your hands and knees, what I would like you to do when you're doing push-ups, which is what we're doing now, is to try to push your hips forward and avoid doing your push-up in a modified version like this, because it's often the case we see when we teach. So in order to avoid that, what you want to try and do is to get a little squeeze of the glutes. You know your hips will be in extension when you're able to squeeze your bum a little bit. So we're going to inhale to lower and exhale to lift. And again, inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale and lower down. Exhale, push. 3 more. Lower, 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 push. Lower, 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 push. Last one, please. Of course, you can stay here and do a lot more if you want. Okay. And then finally, just go back into your shell stretch or your child pose. And you're going to take a breath in. Relax. Allow your ribcage to really expand. Create movement when you breathe. 1 more. And then exhale and start to come back up, articulating all the way. Good. Just give your shoulders a little roll. And then take a breath in. Reach your arms up. You can come up into high kneeling position if you want, or just stay down. And again, or maybe do both. Up and down. last one. Up, join your hands, and then lower your hands to your chest. Thank you very much for following me today. This was about 30 minutes workout, a really gentle, nice way maybe to start or to finish your day. Stay with us, follow our YouTube channel, and maybe leave us a comment if you like. Take care. Bye-bye.